Hey everyone, it is Chef Maxine from the York Region Food Network, and it is time for What's for Dinner. What's for dinner, you ask? Well, it is our weekly recipe share where we get our cooking inspiration for that dreaded question that we hear every day, what's for dinner? Today, we are going to be making vegetable kebabs that can either be cooked on the grill or in your oven. So for today's kebabs, we are going to be using some Moroccan-inspired flavors and spices to make our vegetable kebabs. So what I have here is some red skin potatoes, zucchini, red onion, yellow and red bell peppers, and some cremini mushrooms. Now, you don't have to use the ones that I have here. You can basically use any vegetable that you have at home that your family enjoys. Okay, so there's a couple of things you need to keep in mind when it comes to making your kebabs. So one thing is that you want about uniform shapes. So whether it's your pepper, your zucchini, or your potato, you want them all to be around the same size. The pepper is a little bit longer, but that's because the zucchini and the potato are a little bit thicker, right? So you want them all to cook nice and evenly at the same time. Okay, so that's point one. The second thing to keep in mind is for your potatoes, you want to actually parboil them first. So what I did is I cut them into small pieces, into these chunks, these bite-sized pieces, and I put them in some cold water, cold salted water, brought it up to a boil, and then just when you're able to pierce it with a fork, like that, just as it goes through, it's still holding its texture and its shape, but it is cooked all the way through. That's when I pulled it off, and I let it steam. Okay, now that they're cool, they're ready to go. The other thing that I like to keep in mind is with our mushrooms, so I never wash mushrooms. That's my little secret. So some people think this is crazy. You have to wash them. They're dirty. They're very porous, and they do have a high water content. So when you wash them, it actually absorbs a lot of moisture, and you don't get that nice brown caramelized yummy flavor from the mushroom when it's washed. So what I tend to do instead is I take my mushroom and a paper towel or a cloth, and I just brush off all the excess dirt. So remember, this is going to get cooked at a relatively high heat, and we're taking off all the excess dirt. Now, that being said, if you're just like, I'm not feeling that tip, Chef Maxine, it's okay. No one will know if you wash your mushrooms, just you will. So I'll leave that up to you. So just make sure you cut your mushroom, same thing, in a nice, even, uniform size to the rest of your vegetables. All right, so now that all our vegetables are prepped, what I'm gonna do is I have a container here. You can use either a container or a bowl because we're gonna put all our vegetables in here and we're gonna get ready to make our marinade. All right, so for my Moroccan spice blend, what I have in here is some paprika, ground cumin, ground coriander, and some ground chili pepper. All right, so to get our marinade going, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with our fresh herbs. So I have some mint here. For our leafy herbs, what I'll do is I'll roll it up into a little bit of a ball, and I'm just gonna run my knife through it, and then as my knife is getting closer to my fingers, I'm just gonna walk my hand backwards a bit, and then you get this nice sort of ribbon shape, and then I will take my knife and just run it across to make it a little bit finer. Now, if you like larger pieces of herbs, you can leave it in larger pieces. I like mine a little bit more fine. Okay, so now that we have all of our herbs chopped, they're mixed together. These flavors, by the way, they go really beautifully together. The mint and the cilantro really balance each other out really nicely. So now we're gonna add the rest of our ingredients. So here's our spice blend, our chopped garlic, lemon juice, and of course our olive oil. So that looks pretty good. And of course, our final step will be to season with salt and pepper. So I'm going to do 2 pinches of salt to start, and then some fresh cracked black pepper. If you don't have a pepper mill, that's okay. You can just go ahead and use some ground black pepper and mix everything together just like that. If you do like a little bit more spicy, you can also add some chopped up like fresh chilies to that. And you know what? If you are not a fan of cilantro and mint, you can always go with like thyme and oregano. So you can change it up to whatever herbs and spices that your family likes. Okay. The other key thing we want to make sure before anything is just to give it a taste. To make sure that it has enough seasoning, it has enough acid, that you taste all the flavors together. So I'm going to do that. And here's I have my vegetables. I'm going to pour some of the marinade all over the vegetables, like so. And then I'm just going to put the lid on this cup, on this container, and just shake it. So you can put it in a bowl and mix it together, or you can just put it in a container and shake it. And this is kind of fun to do. So, okay. So I'm going to open this up. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna let this sit in this marinade for at least 20 minutes. They're vegetables, so they're not, it's not like really super dense. And about 20 minutes should be enough to let the flavors really penetrate into there, get it really nice and tasty before we put it onto our skewers and then get ready for the grill or the oven. One thing to keep in mind whenever you're making any kind of kebab is you just want to make sure that you soak your skewers first, at least for 20 minutes. Because whether you're putting it in a hot oven or you're putting it on your grill, it is wood, and wood and fire don't necessarily mix. So we just want to make sure that there's a little bit of moisture in there, and that's going to prevent it from burning. Okay, so I did soak these for about 20 minutes, and now I took them out, let them dry, and now they're ready to be skewered. Okay, so we're going to start. So you can just alternate basically any of the vegetables any way you would like. And again, this is a perfect activity for those little hands. Get them in the kitchen, get them using things, get them participating in making dinner. You can make these as long or as short as you would like. I like having really long ones. So I'm just alternating my vegetables here. I have the potato. What do I do? I said some mushrooms, some bell pepper, then zucchini, onion, potato, and I'm just going to repeat that. So I'll keep going up until the top of my kebab. So I'll probably get like 2 rounds in there. And you can make them as pretty as you like. So one thing I like about this marinade is we're using it just on vegetables today. But really, you can use this on any sort of animal protein you like as well. So I really enjoy it with some chicken. You can use it with lamb. You can use it with some pork or fish even. This marinade is really lovely. It's like garlicky and lemony, and then all the freshness of the herbs really makes it come together nicely. So here's our kebab. Okay, so our kebabs are all ready. Have them laid out here. They are good to go either in a 400-degree preheated oven on the middle rack so they get nice and toasty, or they're ready for the grill. All right, so we're gonna pop them into our 400-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. So there you have it. Here are our Moroccan spice vegetable kebabs. Now you can switch up the vegetables, you can switch up the spices, but basically get some kebabs on the grill or into your oven this season. This was my recipe, and I'm curious, what's yours? What's your favorite kind of kebab? This is going to be posted on Thursday at 1 p.m. So I will see you there. Add some comments, chat, share your favorite recipe, and I look forward to seeing you again on What's for Dinner.